Hey, welcome to the CNC show. We've got a great show lined up for you today. I'm super excited about. But first, if this is your first time here, welcome in. I saw a couple people in the chats like, I'm not missing this again. So I appreciate you. This is going to, like I said, this is going to be a great show where we've got giveaways, we've got over and under, we've got potholes, all different segments that we're going to go through and have different topics. So this isn't your typical live stream. We call this our live show. But joining me today is a very special guest from AirWeights. Jace, the founder of AirWeights, is going to be joining me here. We're going to be talking about workholding, different solutions, and the solution that he has developed and how he got to where he's at today, but also sharing a lot of knowledge on the challenges of workholding and the solutions that he's found. So really looking forward to that. You're in for a treat. But before we bring him on, I've got a couple announcements. We've got two, actually. And the first one is for the first time ever, actually second time ever. I told my Discord community this morning, but for the first time, let's say publicly, I'm announcing that we have a new website. It's still ANDYBIRDbuilds.com, but it is completely rebuilt. Eric has spent, we have spent the last 2 or 3 months working on that project in the background. And I'm super excited about the new ANDYBIRDbuilds.com. It's streamlined, it's efficient. We've got rid of all of the excess. And so we designed it with one purpose in place. Like, we want you, anything CNC related, anything ANDYBIRD builds related, you can go to ANDYBIRDbuilds.com and find it. So we have a new section of tips and tricks where we take our videos that are on YouTube and we put them in text format and kind of a blog format. So if you're a reader, you can find that there. All of our course information is all in one location now. It's easy to find. All the tools I recommend are on the website. So if you're out in your shop and you run into any issue, you can find it on ANDYBIRDbuilds.com. So check that out when you have a chance, and let me know your thoughts. I'm loving it. So the next and last announcement is we've turned this show into a podcast as well. So if I know a lot of people watch this or listen to this in the workshop, no need to go to YouTube to find it. You can search your favorite podcast. If you're a big podcast person, your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, we're on there now. And so just search the CNC show and follow us, and you'll be notified every time we upload the audio only version of this show. So this is all in an effort to make it easier for you to consume our content in different ways and not just one way. So I hope you enjoy those and check them out. Next time you're driving in your truck to go pick up a load of lumber, turn on the CNC show. This one will be on there probably tomorrow. It does take us a little bit of time. All right, that's all I've got for an announcement. So let's get into the show, and let's welcome in Jace from AirWeights. Hey, there he is. What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. I always get jacked for these live shows, you know?
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just jump right into it. For people that are like, who's this guy? Tell them what you do, who you are, and kind of the Cliff Notes version of Jace from AirWeights.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks. So yeah, I'm Jace. I'm the founder of AirWeights, and I was a mechanical engineer in industry for a number of years, designed a lot of kind of harsh environment products, a lot of sealing, vibration stuff, thermal challenges, temperature, things like that. And I'd always just wanted to release my own products. I made a lot of people a lot of money, and had always had this dream and vision of doing it for myself. And fast forward, I had one position where I made a lot of custom vacuum fixtures for a particular business doing complex parts. And it was like a dream, They basically handed me a $50,000 CNC router with an ATC and said, "Have fun." And I learned so much in the process, and had a really, really great experience with that. But eventually, just kind of designed myself right out of a job. I made all the fixtures they needed, and it was very much a contract arrangement. And after a few years, there just wasn't anything left there. And so I went back to some traditional mechanical design work, but just wasn't the same. It wasn't lighting me up in the same way. Some great experience, but nothing like doing it for yourself or doing something you're passionate about. So yeah, I bought my first machine one year and started running it in my garage. And first thing I did, I was like, well, I got to make myself some sort of vacuum work holding equipment here, because there's no way I'm using anything else after all that experience. And so I did that, and just looking around the forums and seeing what people were using in the space, I just saw this huge gap. I mean, like, brad nails, double-sided tape, all the things, and nobody outside of people kind of building their own systems and doing some really cool, innovative stuff, no one had really commercialized it. And with the product design background and the experience specific to that, I was like, there it is. There's my niche. Or niche. Maybe it's niche. I don't know. But
I say both.
Okay.
I don't even know what it is. It depends where you're from, I think. Yeah.
Anyway, there's the idea I'm gonna take forward. And so, that 2023, August of 2023 was our first sale. And I started making these vacuum table systems, complete systems with a pump and a table, which is really key, at that time. And I was doing it in my garage. We have a detached 2-car garage at my house. We gutted the whole thing, insulated it, ran more power, and I kind of went for it. I put some investment in there and got a second machine, and it's just me, just in there cranking away. And balancing, full-time engineering consulting, being a dad, running a business. It got to be a lot. And eventually I was like, okay, got to get out of here. And so in June 24, rented a space that I'm sitting in now. June of this year, we expanded into the space next door, and it's just been, steady climb. So
that's fantastic. And thank you for taking the time to join us. And share. Yeah, I mean, you've got a product, but sharing your inspiration, your story, and honestly, like I love this stuff. I love seeing people, let's just call it, take the plunge, and do something that they're passionate about and build something that they're proud of, using their prior experience, or sometimes jumping in without any prior experience and just going for it and making it work. Right. I have so much respect for the entrepreneur because I'm one myself.
Yeah, totally.
And
good. Yeah, I totally echo that. I mean, I think it's the type of thing that you don't really know what it takes until you're in the shoes. Like you see from the outside, you watch, you learn, you study, but then when you're in the experience, you realize, oh wow, this is a lot. And it's not what it's what you don't know that you don't know that kind of comes to get you sometimes. So it's always a fun challenge and always a great opportunity to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's I share this to laugh at myself, but when I quit my full-time job, I worked for the local city government here. And so, quote unquote, like the stablest job you could have, right? Like I always joke that you wouldn't get fired unless you punched somebody or stole something. You know what I mean? And that's not my personality. I'm a very high performance, high output individual. And my job was within the city. But anyways, I say that because when I jumped in headfirst to ANDYBIRD Builds and went full time, which was June 6th of 2020, I thought it was going to be easy. I thought, I actually joked with my friends that I was semi-retiring. And yeah, it is hilarious. And in hindsight, and I can say now, and this isn't like a feather in my cap, or like, I don't say this braggingly, but nothing, the last 5 years nothing has been more challenging. It couldn't have been more opposite. So Um, so yeah, man, I get it. I appreciate you, appreciate your products, and we're going to talk about them.
Yeah,
And yeah, so that gives everybody a little bit of a background on what we're here for, and we've met. Have we met twice? I know we met in Texas this past year, and we kind of
definitely in Texas. Yeah, that was probably the most prominent meeting, I'd say.
yeah. And then you knew what I preferred. What really intrigued me, that you knew my work holding preferences
Yeah.
before I even told you. I was like,
I study, man. I'm out there. That's the other thing about, this whole thing is I'm my own customer. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't get any better than that from the customers out there perspective. If the guy running the business is developing products for himself and then figuring out how to sell it, it's a pretty good thing for you as a consumer. So not as a sales pitch. I'm just saying.
yeah, no, absolutely. And like, tell everybody right before we get into, well, we'll do this, we'll do that in our next segment,
Okay.
about your machine and your setup and production and all
Yeah.
that. But let's go ahead and one more reminder before we get in. If you are new here, we are looking at your questions in the chat, but we're not going to stop the show right now to answer them. We have Miranda in the background who's curating all these questions, and we do it rapid fire style here in about 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so. We're going to blast Jace with all your questions all at once. And so we're not ignoring you, but yeah, so get your questions in for rapid fire Q&A. But with that, let's head to our first segment. Yes. All right. Welcome to Potholes. Yeah, welcome to Potholes. In this segment, we're going to talk about the potholes of work holding. That's our topic today. Is work holding, and just kind of our different experiences with it, and from both our hobby standpoint, from an industrial standpoint, from a just a manufacturing standpoint, and of course talk about AirWeights as well, and talk about the problems that it solves, and talking about the different scenarios in which and the different setups that match those different scenarios, which I have questions on.
Yeah.
And so let's start with let's start with all the different. So when you first got into before AirWeights kind of became a thing, what did you see out there? And as far as is the different problems that you could solve with the current, popular work holding double-sided tape. My
Yeah.
personal favorite for a long time before I got AirWeights in my shop, but it's tempting to reach for it, is
Yeah, of
wood
course.
screws.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, and yeah, just kind of a free for all.
Yeah, sounds good. So when I was first starting out with this, having come from a really like a production environment where throughput, changeover time, material consumption, yield, like everything mattered, because you're selling a product, and at the end of the day, that's all cost. And so, coming from that environment, I waited a while to buy my own machine. And I was waiting for a specific set of specs that I was looking for, because I didn't want to buy something that was going to be so subpar from what I had been running that I was going to just be disappointed in troubleshooting all the time. I just didn't want to do that. And you've talked about this previously. There's a certain price point with CNCs now where you're going to have a good experience.
Yep.
And, getting above that is important. But in essence, I finally found a machine for me. It was a Onefinity. It came out ball screw driven, decent controls, super rigid. And I was like, wow, okay, I can do something with that. That's a platform I can build on. And when I was looking around at work holding, I first few projects I did use wood screws. I mean, that was also a favorite of mine, and pretty good at dialing in tab thickness and placement and understanding how to finish and follow up with all that. But basically, I knew where I was going to go because I'd already done it so many times. And some of the challenges that I saw, I was looking. A lot of people look at a CNC and they see dollar signs. They see the opportunity to make money, and just as an aside, it's not the machine that's going to make you money, it's you. But it just,
Amen, brother.
the challenge with running production with a hobby grade CNC at that time that was the most limiting to me was work holding. Because I'd done it on machines of a similar caliber, like One Step Up, kind of Shop Saber, Freedom Machine Tool, Cam Master, that type of platform. But a lot of those have vacuum tables built in, and so a lot of the work holding challenge is done. These hobby machines, ATC and vacuum table were the two things kind of missing, and it was the lack of throughput that you could achieve, the inefficiency in changeover, the inefficiency in material, and then spending all this time post-processing when I knew how to yield a finished part straight off the machine. That was the key. Like if you cut out all of the finishing, all the additional labor, I mean, sanding, sure, but I'm talking about, trimming, like taking an oscillating tool, cutting tabs, doing roundovers. There's just so many things that you can do with a machine that I don't think people will reach for that would save so much time if you just did. And that's where I saw the need. It's like the serious CNC user, the business owner, the person who just needs to be able to be efficient with their machine. And that's kind of how it was born. The competitive methodologies for us are like double-sided tape, and it's just not. It gets old pretty quick if you're making hundreds of parts.
I've used them all. And I settled on wood screws, because like I'd started with clamps, and I'd hit clamps with bits, and I've if you don't know, typically you hit a clamp not when you're actually cutting your tool path, but when your machine is, rapiding from one side to another. If anything sticks above your workpiece, it's an obstacle. And I did the whole T-track thing. I did all of that, and I was just like, it was cumbersome, right? And so then I went to wood screws, and I used wood screws for 5 years. I've used them for a long time. And I remember setting up, and you've probably seen this video, like where I made a bunch of bourbon smokers or a bunch of trays, and I would, set up my first, like I screwed each individual board down, 2 screws on each one. If you have 8, 9 boards on that's a lot of time and effort. And not to mention cracking, like splitting at the end, like you always had to pre-drill everything. And so, but I always went back to screws. And the reason I stuck with screws for a long time is because I know when I screw it down, it doesn't move.
Yep. That's totally true.
Yeah. And that confidence of work holding, like I know it is not moving, is so valuable to me, because when we're operating and producing parts, like there's a ton of variables, and part movement, if I can take that out of the equation completely, like sign me up, right?
100%. Yeah. And I think it's a great place for a lot of beginners to start, honestly. Wood screws are cheap, man. And your spoil board of your machine is typically MDF. You're ready to go, So I think the challenge comes when you get more advanced with concepts and you start doing more stuff, and you realize pretty quickly, like, this can work, and there's better ways.
Yeah, for sure. So I think this is a good place. We can kind of talk about this off and on, but I had a couple questions for you ahead of time as far as okay. So I've got AirWeights in my shop. It comes, I wish I had them with me. But do you have some things? Okay, perfect. Okay. So that's the base that it comes with. Is that what you call it?
This is what we call an AirWeights table or a vacuum table.
Okay.
And it's got our standard product line has a grid cut into the top surface. mounting holes. There's precision locating holes for pins on the top side and the bottom side. So it's repeat located on your machine. If you need to take it off, you can get it back in the same spot. The bottom is fully sealed. It has a base plate that seals the entire internal cavity. There's an edge inlet, so you don't have to come up from underneath your CNC if you have motion components under there or whatever. Literally any flat surface, you just screw it down and connect a vacuum pump and it's ready to go. So that's kind of the base kind of flagship model, our 2x2 or 24x24. And we precision machine them all here in-house.
And yeah, thank you for showing that, because it's hard to describe these things without a visual.
Yeah, totally.
So that's your base. And then there are different, I don't want to call them the wrong thing. What do you call them? Different layers that you can put on top with the locating pins for different types of setups. And so that's where my question is, okay, what is the MDF board? What is that good for, right? What is the gasket? Oh, I forgot it.
We got a bunch of different accessory layers, and I can kind of share all of them if you'd like. And
yeah. Do you have them with you?
I don't have them with me, but they are on the website.
You grab them real quick?
We could pull them up.
I got them right here.
Yeah, sure. So I can tell you what each is and what they're good for.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
and literally. And so thanks, Eric. And so let's see here. So we'll start with this one first. So this is literally, I'll let you share about it.
Yeah, so that's an MDF spoil board. Our systems are a little different than a traditional vacuum table. And I see in the chat some people mentioned using low density fiberboard LDF to promote airflow and get a really good clean suction. In our case, we use medium density and a very specific grade because our pumps are designed to pull deep vacuum, not move a ton of air. And the pressure difference is really what dictates how much force you have on the part. So we use MDF, very specific type called MedX, which is a phenomenal material, super consistent density, great stuff. And that just is a fully porous, permeable membrane that you put on top of your vacuum table. You can locate it with pins. You can almost treat it as a fixture that you can take on and off and use in the same way every time. But the key with an MDF spoil board is that you are introducing a leak on purpose. You are letting it leak to atmosphere, and the pump is keeping up with that leak rate to create this little tiny layer of negative pressure right at the surface. And so for that thing to work and hold material well, the material has to be smooth, flat, and non-porous. So think of things like melamine, pre-finished plywood, plastics, aluminum sheet, stuff like that are really consistent, uniform materials. And you could lay it right on that. If you cover the whole thing, you'll even get a pretty deep vacuum rating because there's not that much of a leak. You're covering the entire surface.
Yeah.
And that works really great. And then, that'll work for decent sized projects. As you start getting smaller and smaller, the amount of work holding force you have on that component goes down because you have less area. So that's where having a little gasket like that's one of our nested gasket squares made by All Star CNC Products. We just are a reseller for their stuff. But that little thing, because you sealed off a little zone, now if you put a piece of material on there, one, it can account for some surface irregularity, but two, you're creating a little pocket of negative pressure, and the work holding force jumps up because you have there's not as much of a leak anymore. You're sealing off around that part. So if you cut through on the outside of that square, the thing's going to stay no problem. So that's a really clean, easy way to get to like a quick, reliable work holding method using a spoil board. But you can also use those on a fixture plate. So fixture plate is like I think you might have one black, maybe. Yeah, that guy. So that is just same thing, same geometry, 1/4 inch thick, has the holes profiled to the shape of the air weight, but it's not porous. In other words, if you put that on your vacuum table, you turn it on, sucks right down to the table, you'll see the gauge go to max because there's no leak happening. And when you use that, the advantage is because you're not leaking, you can get to a much higher work holding force. there's no leaks. So if you did the same thing, took that gasket and then poked a hole in the center and create a link between the top surface and the vacuum table underneath, still no leaks, much higher work holding force, but a little bit more work to set up and not as universal. So, there's benefits and trade-offs with all these things.
Yeah. So, and then this one right here is basically the same exact.
So same deal. This is a product that I was really excited about releasing because a lot of our customers use our product in what we call a direct mount method, where they take the workpiece and put it right on the vacuum table. And they get really comfortable with that because the grid has 1-inch spacing. It's easy to align parts. We have repeat locating stops that fit into the grid so you can have a corner reference. They can reconfigure the grid gasket for different shapes and sizes. But the caveat is you have to be really careful, because if you cut through and you cut into your vacuum table, that's a sad situation, right? And we have plenty of customers that have done that. Trust me. We're also very lenient with people who have that experience, and we want to help people out. So, if you ever run into that situation and you do have our stuff, just reach out to us. But our systems are a lot more forgiving than you would think. You cut into the vacuum table. If it's less than the channel depth, you just have an extra channel. No big deal. Yep. If you cut through, you have an extra port. If you cut all the way through to the base plate, you can replace the base plate. So the only thing we really can't recover from, full depth through the edge. That's like, I can't, there's nothing I can do for you there. I'd replace it, get a new one, right? And we'll do that at a discount for anybody. But basically that just replicates the grid of the vacuum table underneath and provides the same experience as the direct mounting method, but allows you to cut through if you wanted to and use it as a dedicated fixture.
Cool. So you might be able to see this way better. There's actual holes.
Yeah, there's a hole. Yeah.
I put a couple holes in it because I've got this channel gasket in here. Mm-hmm. And my thought was, and I was experimenting with this, I could use your reference pins in the corner here, mm-hmm. and any piece of stock that is, let's say 6 inches wide, like hardwood, like a piece of walnut, 24 inches long, just same place every time. Boom.
Every time.
Every time. And so no double sided tape, no screws. Literally, it's just on and off. Like, set the piece on there, turn the pump on, turn the pump off to take it off.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. And I hardwoods and that product right there, the fixture plate or the pre-cut fixture plate and hardwoods, match made in heaven. Hardwoods and a spoil board, hardwoods and even the tile gasket, which is a material stuck on top of MDF, is it's borderline, because you're not covering the whole surface. Spoil boards and tile gasket are really meant for processing sheet goods. So, again, smooth, flat, non-porous sheet goods, spoil board, tile gasket all day long. But if you have a hardwood, something with grain structure, something that's maybe not perfectly flat, there's a little bow in it, having a fixture plate and some gasket material is definitely the way to go.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm on the right track.
You're nailing it, man. You're 10%.
I appreciate it, because when you get all these parts, you gave me a demonstration at the Texas Woodworking Show. Honestly, if I back up, I have been skeptical. And I call me a traditional Midwestern guy. I like what works, and I don't want to try anything else.
I get it.
And so getting across that barrier of okay, I know this works. I know I've seen other people, tons of very respected people that I respect, are using this, and it's okay, how we're all comfortable thinking a certain way. It's kind of, you don't have to think at all to reach for screws, right? But how do I, with these different plates, with these different mounting things, okay, what goes where, right? But going through that now, it literally took me a day to figure out I wanted to put hardwood on that fixture plate. Right. And because I didn't try to cut it, but I tried to put a piece of hardwood on the MDF board. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work.
No, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
And I try to be forthcoming, like, and I'll be the first to say it too, like vacuum's not for everything. Like if you're just doing slab flattening and the thing is just like totally grainy and not surfaced and not flat, you're not going to get there,
Yeah.
But the truth is the majority of the materials that we process with our CNCs are pretty well, well prepped for the products that we developed.
Yeah, and I would argue, in my experience with producing a lot of parts, especially out of hardwood, is spend the extra money to get well prepped materials.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't preach that enough, man. Like our stuff, like people may not realize this, but we use our products to make more of our products. So, as a testament to our own experience, we are literally the use case. We are the primary example for our product line. But we have material prepped, come in, cut to size perfectly, goes right on the table, and our scrap is majority of the time chips. That's it. We don't have like offcuts that we're throwing away. On guess 2 products we do, but everything else it's literally full yield from the sheet.
Love it.
So get it prepped.
I spent so much time wasting time and money of buying cheap material, whether it be Facebook Marketplace. I've got some good stuff off Facebook Marketplace, don't get me wrong. But at the beginning, not knowing what I was looking for, like, they have some oak. Let's go buy some oak. I had no idea what I was buying. And then I would spend so much time at a planer and planing it down. And literally, like, I'd take a 1-inch thick board, but it was all wonky. And I'd end up with, maybe a 5/8 inch board when I was done, and the time I spent, and you're not saving money at that point.
No, I really don't think so, because the value you're adding is with the machine, that's, you want to get as close as you can to the finished product as quickly as you can. And if you're spending the time when, to prep the material when it could go right on, you just lost out. I mean, you're missing out.
Yeah. So just a side tangent there from a couple guys that have processed a lot of material. So talk, let's see here. Yeah. One more thing. I think it's really interesting, and feel free to gloat a little bit about your current manufacturing setup,
Sure.
and what that looks like. I think people will find that really interesting.
Yeah. We're pretty public about this. I mean, we show it in live streams and go over demos and do live cutting and things like that. But basically, we have 3 CNCs. They're all Onefinity Elite machines. We have 2 Foremans, which are 4x4, and 1 48x32. That's a Journeyman. And basically, we lay out our own vacuum tables on the spoil board, as a machine table. And we run them with this pump, 17 CFM pump, which is one of our, it's probably my favorite product that we offer, honestly. We have a manifold that connects to each one of the tables so we can shut them off independently. And that's sort of the machine setup. We don't have an automatic tool changer, and we actually don't even use a bit setter, because where am I going to put it? I use 48x48, and there's no scrap. So I literally don't have space on the machine to put in the machine area to put anything. So basically we have sheets of material come in. We have them cut into half sheets, 48x48. They get racked. Everything is tracked with lot traceability in our system. And then, a tech or myself will bring a sheet and put it onto the machine. And all we do is just make sure it's overhanging the vacuum tables underneath everywhere. And because we're machining our product on top of our product, any through cuts are outside of the seal, and it stays fully sealed. So, every single sheet gets faced. Every single sheet gets, individually processed. We have about 6 tool changes per product that we do. And it's a very, We have custom tooling. So, Cody from Cadence Manufacturing develops a lot of custom tooling for us. We also manufacture the base plate that goes on the bottom on those same vacuum tables. And we have a pretty nice cadence with the process now where an operator, whether it's me or somebody else, can run parts and perform assembly in the cadence of the machine cycle. So there's a very cyclic, sort of repetitive process, very trainable, very methodical.
Yeah.
And then the parts come off when they're finished. We do have some manual labor involved. There's deburring and some assembly. There's the side ports are done with custom jigs and drills and taps and all that sort of stuff. And at the end, we do a final gasket on the top, pre-install it for the customer, perform QC, and then it goes on the shelf. So the whole reason that we've been successful is because we're so efficient with our production process. It is very hard to manufacture a good in the United States and be cost effective and offer it to somebody. And we're doing that. And I'm pretty proud of that. Not only because of being the business owner, but also because it's a testament to our product. Like I was saying, like the fact that we can use our product to make our product and be successful with domestic manufacturing is huge. So there's your gloat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is huge. And I actually have had that thought on your website, like looking at your prices and knowing that they're manufactured, in Colorado and shipped from there. And I'm like, heck yeah, man. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's really it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next little bit here, because we've been kind of leading the charge, and I do expect there'll be some competition springing up not too long. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out for that. We'll know, but we'll know you're the original and your story and the hard work and that I know you've put in and the sacrifices you've made and balancing everything. So cool. I think this is a good lesson too. And then we'll lighten it up a little bit with a game, but if you're doing something good if you're being copied.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've had this conversation with several people in our space that if you put something on the internet, and it's good and you are successful, expect it to be copied. Expect it to be replicated. Expect it to be not necessarily copied, might not be the right word, but that doesn't feel good as the maker. Like that's not just saying like, oh, that's just the way it is, but like you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you think that you're going to be successful and no one is going to imitate you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I think the other thing that is always it's so tough for me is the criticism, the judgment, there's just people out there that just don't want to see you succeed. It seems like, so just having the strength to be like, you know what, I believe in myself. I know what I'm doing here. That's a big deal too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Well, like I like to tell everybody, keep fighting the good fight, man. Like,
of course. Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's leave that there and let's head to our next segment, Over and Under. All right, welcome to Over and Under. We always like to throw in a game of some sort, and today it's Over and Under, where Eric will be putting a item up on the screen that he's found on the internet, and he'll be putting a price up there as well. And it is our job to guess whether the list price is over or under the price that he's put on the screen. But also play along with us in the chat. Let us know, you guess too, if it's over or under. And let's see how many Jace can get right. We're taking it. We're not making it be like an exact number, anything like that. But no, this is going to be fun. All right, Eric, go ahead and hit us with the first one.
Okay, our first item for today is this mailbox. Custom mailbox obviously comes with name and number. This is made out of pine, roughly 14 inches by 6 inches by 5 inches. We're going to start the bidding at, the price that I've got listed is $75. $75. Over or under?
All right, everybody in the chat, let us know. Over, under. Jace, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
First thing that comes to mind is under. I just with the being pine, and I mean there's some hardware in there and some engraving, and it. So is the price for the customized version?
The price is for the customized version with both the name and number on it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm still going under.
That was my original thought as well. And the main thing that caught my eye was the brad nails used to nail it together on the ends. I don't know why. I always notice that. And it's a quick assembly way. You can basically glue and brad nail together. You can never make those holes disappear, though, by the way. So I'm going to say under as well. I'm going to say under.
Okay, a little bit of back and forth in the chat. Looks like under probably has the lead.
Okay.
So the price for the mailbox actually is...
Oh, boy.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
And this seller online is coming from the U.S., and they have sold multiple versions of this as well, too. They do send out of California, so I don't know if that changes anything, but that's what they're selling them for.
Amazing.
This is, and good for them. Like, if they're selling them at that price, fantastic. It's interesting because typically we have the opposite reaction. Like, you need to be charging more.
Right.
But good for them that they're, hey, what they've probably got, I think they got some time into that and staining stuff, but material wise, hardware, you can probably go to a big box store and produce that for under $20 pretty easily.
Yeah. It's always interesting to think about perceived value versus price,
Yes. Very interesting. Well, cool. All right, Eric, hit us with the next one.
Okay, our next one is this bread knife. This bread knife, it is made out of walnut. It is roughly 16.5 inches by 2 inches by 1/2 inch thick. It does come with this little stand as well, too, and you can see that they have done some custom engraving, most likely with a laser.
Cool product. So just to clarify, just the bread knife and the stand.
The knife and the stand is what we're going for here. The customization is more, but I'm just going for the bread knife and the stand. $40 is our starting point.
All right, chat. Let us know over or under. It looks like we've got a lot of overs. I'll go first on this one, Jace, since you went first on the last one. Should I play Eric? He's probably trying to throw us off.
I don't even remember what I put.
Let's go. I'm going to go over. And I think this is a cool product, by the way. I think it's, especially with the base. And yeah, I always like unique shapes other than cutting boards. And I can't stand cutting boards. That's just my personal.
But if you're already making cutting boards, you could add this real quick.
You could. But, when you have a CNC, like, you can make any shape you can think of. And so that's why I really like this, because the different shape. What's your thought?
I think I'm going to go over as well. It's not like the cost, but I think just like I said, perceived value. Maybe they're pricing high.
Yeah. All right. Let's see, Eric.
Okay, it looks like mostly over in the chat, but a few unders. Cody said it's right on. It's actually, I tricked him. It's $40 exactly. So the actual retail price of the bread knife is...
Okay. Nice. We got it right.
They actually had it on sale right now for a couple days. Its original price was $93.
Wow.
93.
I think that's just some price anchoring going on.
Sales tactic, right? It's always on sale. Okay, our next item up is this customizable Chinese checkers game. This is made out of black walnut. It is roughly 15 inches wide by 15 inches tall because it's a circle, and it is 1 inch thick. It does come with the marbles.
All right. What was this made out of again?
This was made out of black walnut.
Okay. That's what I thought. Just making sure.
Our starting price is $55. That is with the customization and the marbles.
Cool product. Cool product. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I think the 1 inch thick black walnut has got me thinking over on this.
Yeah, I don't know how much black walnut is in Colorado. I don't know if you know. I would think hardwoods are readily available in Colorado.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I think, I'm trying to do, let's just say 2 board feet of walnut, just off the top of my head, something like that. Looking at probably here in Kentucky, 12. Now you're talking $10 to $12 a board foot. So $20 to $25 in material. I hope they're over.
Well, yeah. And are they going to do a glue up, or are they getting it prepped?
It's a good point too.
It's 16 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of deceiving. The picture's deceiving. 16 inches is a pretty big board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my desk right now, and that's like,
Yeah. All right. What do we have in the chat? We've got
a little bit of a mix, several overs, but a few unders sprinkled in there
unders
as well too.
Okay.
Okay, have you guys guessed?
Yeah, I think. Did we guess?
I'm saying over.
Yeah, I'm saying over as well.
Okay, the retail price for the checkers is.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
$98.
Nice. Good for them. I've got some good friends and longtime community members that Bees Boards is the name of their business, and the great story. There you go. Harold says, "Is that from Bees Boards?"
It is not, by the way. I didn't pick on Bees Boards.
So they started making cutting boards, and then ended up buying a CNC and pivoted, and their niche now is game boards. So they're in Massachusetts. So cribbage is a big deal. So they make a ton of cribbage boards, Chinese checkers. They've just expanded the whole thing. So that's what it made me think of. Power of a niche or niche. Depends where you're from.
And what word you're rhyming with. Last week when we had Duffy on, it was the riches are in the niches, right?
Yeah, the riches are in the niches. Have you ever heard that, Jace?
I heard it when I was listening to your show. That was the first time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the riches in the niches really doesn't work as well. All right, let's head to the next one.
Our next item. This is a unique item that I found online that I just thought was really cool. So this is a robot lamp, and so all those little yellow things you're seeing there are lights. And this is made out of pine. It is roughly 14 inches tall by 7.5 inches wide, 2 inches thick. It can come, the way the seller has it set up, it can come with an AC plug, or it can be set up for AA batteries.
Okay. I don't know about you, about you all, but man, I get so excited when I see people make these things. Like, to like, you can see this in a store, like go to a home store or Target or, something like that. You might see something unique like this that's, made foreign, but to be made in the US, like, I don't know. It's just, man, it gets me excited that people like created this and are selling them. I think it's so cool. So cool. It's a weird passion of mine, but I guess that's why I do what I do. I just get excited about it. Like, I'm ready to go buy one of these, whether it's over or under, like,
it is set at $100.
All right.
Start.
All right.
Yeah, I really like the incorporation of color and finish and lights. Like, there's some work there,
Yeah. It reminds me of, I made a couple years ago, maybe last year. It all blurs together, but I made a Santa, a similar concept to this, but it was a Santa light up. I had through holes with lights and paint. Mine didn't look nearly as refined, but same concept. All right, over or under?
I'm going over. I hope it's over because I'm rooting for him.
Yeah,
just like him.
Same here, man. Same here. Over. Please don't be under. You're gonna break my heart if it's under.
The chat looks kind of split between over and under. So let's go ahead and check. The price for the robot lamp is.
Here we go. There we
Nice.
go.
$192.10, and they had several different styles and several sales. So
love it.
Cool item.
And maybe Jace, maybe it's because like, you know, we're dads and, you know,
Totally.
like that perceived value thing. Like, you know, me 10 years ago, I'd probably be like, whatever. You know what I mean? That's cool.
Well, and I think this is a really good nod to good design. You know, like this is a unique product. Someone put some thought into, let me make something different and unique. And they're probably pretty good margin on this. I mean, there's definitely some labor, but there's ways to, you know, automate some of this and make it pretty easy. So kudos to the designer. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We got one more, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay, that was 4. I lost count. Cool. That was a cool one to end it on. How many did we go? 3 for?
I think we're 3 for 4.
3 for 4. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad.
By the way, for those of you playing at home, yes, every single one of them was over. I did not plan to do that on purpose, so it happens.
There you go. It just happens. Just happens. Cool. How'd you guys do in the chat? Let us know. Did you get them all right? We were all kind of scattered on everything. It would be cool if there was a way we could like live vote and you could see it on the screen. I'm putting that idea in Eric's head. He'll figure it out.
I'm sure there's a way.
I'm sure there's a way. So that could be kind of cool. But great. All right. Before we move to the next segment, we're going to have our giveaway coming up here soon. And in order to give you a little bit of time to get entered, the way we'll do it is you'll have to put hashtag ANDYBIRD builds in the chat. You can only put it in once. If you put it in 10 times, you're still only entered once. And are we spinning we're not spinning the wheel.
I mean, we can.
There's no need to spin the wheel. The giveaway, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. It's a surprise.
It's on the wheel right now.
Eric, why'd you tell him? So put hashtag ANDYBIRD builds in the chat to be entered for a really, really cool giveaway that I'll tell you all about here in a second after our rapid fire Q&A. But we're going to actually pick 5 winners today. So there's going to be five winners, and
wow,
you'll get something really cool. So get your entry into the chat, and we'll move on to our next segment. All right, rapid fire Q&A. All those questions that you've got in, we will get through as many as we possibly can here. And how long have we been running on the show? We're at 58 minutes. Okay, so we've got a few minutes here to get your questions done. If you've got any other questions about workholding, about CNC, about anything along those lines, it's not too late. We'll have time to add a few more questions. So if they pop up as we're answering them, feel free to get them in the chat. Okay, let's go to the first one. Jace, I'll let you take this one. Is the smallest vacuum table available 24 by 24?
The answer is no. We offer a similar design to our 24 by 24, as small as a 12 by 12. And the largest table that we offer is 24 by 48. We also recently released a little 2-sided vacuum clamp. This is more like a general woodworking tool, but this is effectively a little tiny vacuum table. It's 9 by 9, roughly. And it has dog little like dogs that you can mount on the sides, and then it locates on an MFT top and works with a little product called a vacuum dog. But this is the smallest offering that we have. And we'll end up selling this as a bundle that'll include a pump and all the accessories. Right now, it's just offered standalone. So a pretty cool little product. And it's two-sided, so a little bit different design than our existing tables where it has a base plate and you just put it on any surface and it works. This seals itself against the table and then holds the workpiece at the same time. So it makes it more cost-effective for us to produce, and the goal is to, get vacuum work holding into as many people's hands as possible when maybe they don't have a CNC or they don't want to commit to installing a vacuum table all the time on their machine. They just want to make some holes and have a little fitting that they can install on the spoil board and then drop this on when needed. So pretty cool little product, the smallest one we offer.
Yeah, I like that. Because you could, maybe you didn't want to, like you said, jump all the way in. And but you could, rarely are we using, unless in your case, you're using your full work bed all the time. But in my case, rarely am I using the entire area. So it'd be cool to have that off to the side. I can see how someone would want that kind of off to the side and have that option, right?
Yeah. The other thing is a lot of people machine a dog hole pattern into their spoil board anyway. There's a lot of like, the goat spoil boards out there on YouTube, people have put a lot of thought into. And a lot of them leverage the same type of clamping technology you'd see on an MFT top. And so, there is, for anybody out there that has that, I mean, this is just a pop in and go. It's so efficient. So
cool. Yeah, let's head to the next one. Steg asks, how thick is that MDF edition that AirWeights provides? So
yeah, it's 1/4 inch thick, and the reason that it's 1/4 inch is cost and shipping cost. Shipping 3/4 inch MDF all over the country is, let me tell you, expensive. So that's we don't do that. And I have said this many times publicly. I would rather you source your own MDF and not buy it from us, because why keep coming back to us to buy a consumable that you could source your own, you source yourself locally and get 3/4 inch thick, which is way more consistent and stays more stable than the 1/4 inch stuff. The caveat and the reason we sell spoil boards is just effectively that people have trouble sourcing the right materials. So, we have a local outfit here where we can have MDF delivered, and it's the right material. It's consistent. It has a data sheet that I can reference that I know the density of. So that's why we offer 1/4 inches cost and get people up and running quickly. But if you can find Medex or another high quality MDF with a reputable density, just don't go buy it at the big box store. Just please don't. It won't work. It's gonna save you and me a lot of headache. But if you can find a reputable MDF with a decently refined and good density and consistent, then it'll work awesome.
Cool. All right. Ooh, the Fish Whisperer. Love that name, by the way. Can you show the fixture plate? Do you want me to show this one?
Yeah. Show the maybe just the blank one. Sorry, I don't have these with me. The one that has just a solid piece with no grid cut into it. Yeah, so that guy. So that thing is a non-porous sheet of material. It lays right on top of your vacuum table and locates with pins. And think of it like a blank canvas that you can make any sort of custom fixture with that you want. So we're providing a solution for somebody who wants to customize this thing and make it, make a setup that's either very repeatable, where they have a corner reference, or that's very customized based on something that they produce a lot of different times. Like if you're running hundreds of parts, spending the time to set something like this up could be really beneficial. And the way that you use it is we have a variety of different gasket approaches that you can apply on top of this thing, or even recessed into channels. And you create a hole in the center of that gasket region, and it creates a little vacuum pocket that sucks the material down to the fixture, or it squishes the gasket, and there's a little tiny thin gap there. And as long as you cut through outside that seal geometry, the part's going to stay rigidly held in place. So the benefit of that product is being able to set something up one time. You spend the time to design the fixture, figure out your gasket layout, make all the holes, all this stuff. But then every time you want to run that product, you just place the fixture on the vacuum table with pins, load the file, and hit go. And you're off to the races. And now you're churning out parts. And it's really more of a production tool. But if you're cutting hardwoods all the time, that's another case where it would be a really, really beneficial tool as well. And you don't have to be super meticulous with the gasket. You just kind of make a loop, you know, as long as it's a sealed volume, it's going to produce a lot of downforce.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Patrick asked, I'm in Colorado. Would I be able to see a product in person?
Absolutely. Yeah. Patrick, reach out to us at info@airweights.com. Happy to do that. We have customers come by and pick up orders all the time. Happy to give you a shop tour and walk you through our process and show you everything. And it's something we offer. It also helps save on shipping costs because, you know, shipping is, especially around the holidays, is particularly expensive.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What do we got here? Do you offer a custom size?
Great question. And the answer is no, unfortunately. We do not have time to stop and pick every single bat. You know, you have to choose your battles in business. And the truth is that making repeat products that serve a wider market and a larger need just it does way better for business than stopping and making a custom design. And when I've quoted it in the past for the time it takes and the work it would be, nobody bites. So it's just right now we don't. I will say that our product line is pretty vast. I mean, in size, it's all the way from 12 by 12 up to 24 by 48, and systems that are bundled together all the way up to 48 by 48. So, you know, even within our existing product line, you can probably find a mix and match that would work for a lot of coverage on your CNC. But if you have a very specific need and you're serious about a custom size, you can reach out. It's just typically it's too expensive for people. So
this is a good follow-up question here. Yeah, that one, Eric. How do you expand the 24 by 48 offer to be a 48 by 48? Like I see a lot.
Yeah, great question. So all of our vacuum tables are very modular intentionally. And the reason for that is we want people to be able to mix and match, change things up. We want people to be able to start small and expand later. And the biggest thing to consider within this expansion topic is the vacuum source. A lot of people like to have one vacuum source. So as is the common statement in tools, buy once, cry once. If you can get the biggest pump you can afford. I mean, even Andy, I think you have the larger pump for the 24 by 24 system. And we really try to encourage people to, if they anticipate that they're going to expand, to spring for the larger vacuum source so that they have the opportunity to expand without needing to buy another pump again. Now, that's one school of thought. There's other people that say, it's fine, I'll just run two pumps. And a lot of people like that approach because they have redundancy built in. So if you can't afford to be down, you can run two pumps. And if one goes down, you can kind of, make it work with one for a while until you can get the second one up and running. Now, that's not to say that our pumps are very reliable. They're continuous duty. And this is not like your pump's going to go down type of thing. But some people are very, very interested in maintaining uptime, and they have requirements around it. And so we've seen people outfit a 48 by 48 machine with 4 individual 24 by 24 systems and 4 individual 5 CFM pumps, just because they want the redundancy and they want to have, common parts that they can switch out. So extremely modular, and there's a lot of ways to do it. It's kind of up to you as the user. And the only other thing is, if you have individual tables, we sell a manifold, an external manifold. There's one kind of mounted on the back of this bench. I don't know if you can really see, but it just has valves. You plug the pump in on one side, and then the valves go out and run to each table, and you can control which table is on and off. And
nice.
Really nice, so that you can isolate flow to one table and improve your work holding performance if you need to. Again, it's all area dependent. So we have the source that can, accommodate the entire 48 by 48 area. But if you're doing something super small and intricate, you need all the work holding force you can get, and you're super tight about sealing, you can focus all that flow right to one part, which is really beneficial.
That's really cool. Yeah. Steve asks, what are your future product plans? Do you have anything exciting to share with us?
So I mentioned the MFT vacuum clamp. This is an exciting thing for me personally, because, as a business owner, the scope of our product right now has been largely around CNC. But there are a lot of use cases for vacuum work holding outside of CNC applications and general woodworking. So roundovers, sanding, all automation equipment. There's a lot of things out there where vacuum is widely used and, in my opinion, pretty overpriced, frankly. So we're looking to break into the general woodworking market, and we collaborated with this company, VacuDog. So this is a little fitting for MFT tables, if I can get it to focus, and it'll be our own version of this thing that's branded and black anodized, fits into the hole of the MFT. You'll have a fitting on the bottom, and then you have no hoses or anything on your work surface, and a really quick way to change over and automate but improve the efficiency of manual operations, where clamping can be a challenge. So look for that later this year. I think by the time December rolls around, we'll have the MFT plus a pump and all these accessories, the VacuDog, everything ready to go as a complete bundle. So that's pretty exciting. I hesitate to talk too much about like future developments, just to make sure that I'm not over-promising and under-delivering. So we have some very exciting things, but I'm going to keep them under wraps for now. And
no problem.
It's some of the major challenges that I've faced, again, being my own customer with running production, I'm looking to solve. And so once I solve those, and once we as a team solve those, and we have it ready and validated, we'll be releasing some other products to market as well.
Cool. I have a follow-up question to that. This is, and I hope people find this as interesting as I do. But especially on my YouTube channel and ANDYBIRD Builds, we really are known for making money with CNC, right?
Yeah.
And so along those lines, like, how do you balance your time and focus? Because you're developing products, but you're also manufacturing products, and that's actually, in my experience, fairly rare on the big scheme of things. Like, there's not a lot of product manufacturers, I could be wrong, but that manufacture their own products. Typically, they're product development companies that then make a prototype or, and they send it off for manufacturing. So my question is how do you balance that? How do you balance business growth with working in the business versus working on the business?
It's a great question. And I think, if I'm being honest, it's one of the most prominent struggles in my awareness right now, because it's a constant battle to set aside time to be on the cutting edge and to do what people want and to listen to customers and take their feedback and improve the product. I mean, it's not even manufacturing. Like, I've systemized this very procedural, what's happening back there. And we have support, like one way is hire help, like you get to a certain size and get somebody in there that develop a team and get the support that you need to be able to grow. But the real struggle for me is balancing the time to design and stay on the cutting edge with daily operations. And that's where it's really a struggle. And, I think the truth is it's a lot of like very intentional planning. Like, you got to sit down and say, sorry, I am unavailable from 8 to 12 today, period. And you got to be like really solid in that commitment to developing what's next in order to take your business to the next level. Because, if you stop innovating, you're going to get passed up. That's just the way it is. And whether it's by one of these companies that has a ton of resources and has a development team that's just going to make their own thing and go have it developed elsewhere, it takes a lot of determination to set aside time for that. and actually one of my big intentions for 2026.
Awesome. Yeah. And the reason I asked you is it's one of mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and you said something, and that kind of struck me a little bit, and it's something I'm passionate about. Is I think I've noticed this with I've been testing these router bits and and doing my best to be fair and be honest. And the whole reason I'm testing router bits and testing products, knowing that I'm going to not make everybody happy. Like that's just the nature of it.
That's the way it is.
But I'm doing it, for the consumer and what's best for the consumer. And so what's best for my viewer, what they want to see. They don't have the time or resources to invest, all this time and money that I can to make it for them. Anyways, one of my discoveries in this has been how cool it is to see maker entrepreneur products compete with these larger corporations.
Yeah.
That is one of the coolest things ever, to see an IDC Woodcraft, to see a Cadence Manufacturing, like produce a product that is competing with multi-million-dollar companies that have resources that they can throw around. And that's no knock against them, but it's kind of like that underdog story, right? And I see you as the same way, like a small business, innovating, creating, putting your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And I think it's really cool in this, let's just call it the creator economy. A lot of people refer that to YouTube, but like YouTubers, but because a lot of YouTubers have generated or have created their own products as well. And I think it's really cool to see this evolution of the small guy being able to innovate and create products. And I think it's really important that we also band together and use our collective voice to support one another. And that's something I'm passionate about. And,
Totally.
I think one thing that we do have, Garrett says this a lot at IDC Woodcraft. One thing that we have that these larger competitors might not have is connection to our audience, right? Like connection to our customer. There's a direct line, and so I say that to just kind of shed the light on for the community and greater. The greater community, but also hopefully to encourage you and encourage the small guys out there to keep going, keep innovating. And I think if we it's not us versus them, but like if you said it, if you're not innovating, you'll get passed up. You'll literally just get crushed. And so, yeah, man. I've got one more question.
Okay.
Cadence. Cody over at Cadence says, is there a place to buy AirWeights merch on your website?
Yeah, Cody, dude, I will send you a shirt if that's what you want, but not yet. We probably will. We've talked about it. Just wasn't sure if it was worth the effort, but now that there's a request, we listen to our customers. So we'll do.
Sweet. Love it. Well, that's all the questions that we've got.
I did see one more in the chat about 2 pumps, if they would be running parallel or series.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and answer it.
So just, basically the question is, if you're running multiple pumps and you have multiple zones, how do you set it all up? And the best way is actually to run multiple pumps into sort of, what would actually be the exhaust of the manifold, since it's vacuum, it's backwards. But anyway, you'd run both pumps into the same manifold and then run individual lines out to each of your vacuum tables, so that the flow from both pumps is combined towards whatever output source you have. In other words, you want both pumps to energize one table instead of having them independently controlled. and only energizing one. The setup is really simple to go just have one pump per vacuum table, but you'll find the performance is dramatically better if you can figure out a way to put multiple pumps into a manifold and then have lines going to each one of the tables, so that if you run both pumps, you get all that flow rate energizing a single zone. Cool. So that's the answer.
Love it. And one more thing, my rally cry, it's to you, the customer. We appreciate your support, the viewer, and supporting us small. It means the world to us. I know I can speak for you as well. And so thank you for enabling us to be able to do what we do and to keep delivering. So, All right. So hit it, Eric. Eric said that was the greatest segue ever. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. But all right. So welcome to the giveaway, the Spindle Spin. So hashtag ANDYBIRD builds in the chat, and that will get you entered in. If you just got in here, go ahead and hashtag ANDYBIRD builds. 57. We have 57 people in the giveaway. We have 75 people in here right now. So if you hear me, why I'm giving this spiel about the product that you're going to win, what you're going to win today, hashtag ANDYBIRD builds in the chat. Let's see if we can get all 77 people in this giveaway. All right. So we're going to pick 5 winners today, and you're going to be winning this. We're going to ship these out to 5 lucky people today. What is this thing? It looks really basic. It kind of is. But we just manufactured 450 of these last week. If you saw, we live streamed the whole thing. It's like 20 hours of live streaming, and it was great. But what it is it's a router bit tray. This sits on your desk, fit in there, and we created this to where you have like little thumb holes right here. You can see them, and so your bit is able to sit in that pocket, and you don't have to fish it out really hard. So you can with one finger you can push it down and pull it up, all in the same motion. So it's really basic, but the reason we made 450 of these is to test more router bits. So we tested 3 different bits. Each one machined 150 of these each. And we wanted to create something. We wanted to create a test where we could put the bits through longevity tests. But also we wanted something that we weren't just going to throw away. So we've partnered with the Purple Heart Project, which is a charity nonprofit that I met in Texas at the Texas Woodworking Festival. And what they do, they're a really cool mission. They teach woodworking to veterans who have been wounded either physically or mentally, and they're struggling with issues keeping them from their everyday life, from being a warrior. And Veterans Day was this past week, and thank you to all our veterans out there. And the what you do for us enables us to do what we do. So thank you for that. And so the Purple Heart Project actually teaches woodworking with hand tools to veterans, and the way they do it really spoke to me. They actually fly you out, all expenses paid, to a workshop for a week. Food's included, lodging's included. And every day you get up and you learn woodworking and how to woodwork with hand tools. They also supply you, after that, they supply you with a workbench. And so all of this is paid for through donations. So we're selling these for $10 a piece on my website, and we'll put a link in the chat. And they are $10 each, and all $10 goes towards them. So if we have 450 of them, $10 a piece, $4,500 to the Purple Heart Project. So that's what we're doing. This video of making, this is going to be a YouTube video. We filmed all of it. It's being edited right now. That video should be out Sunday. And so you can actually see the trays being manufactured. Each one is numbered on the back, 1 through 450, and signed by me. And so just to make them unique, kind of a cool thing. So if you want to support a great charity and support woodworkers and veterans, pick up a tray, you get something cool, and support veterans learning woodworking. So you can go to, it should be in the chat. It's up on the screen there too. But you can pick one up and we'll ship it out to you. But today, so that's the spiel. You may win one. So I am buying 10, or I'm buying 5. Just picture it that way, and giving away 5 of them for free. We'll still be making the donation, but I'm giving them to 5 lucky people today. So, all right. Hashtag ANDYBIRD builds in the chat, and to be entered. Nice. Eric's gonna. How many we got in here now, Eric?
73 people in, 61 entries.
Cool. Okay, 61 entries. All right. So let's pick the first winner.
Here we go.
Hey, Fishkeeper 50. Congratulations. It's probably the best time to say, go ahead and put up who to contact. Send a email to support@andybirdbuilds.com, and we'll get your shipping information. We'll ship them out for you too. So our winners, reach out to support@ANDYBIRD and Miranda will get you taken care of. All right, next winner.
Number 2
is Doug Fitzgerald. Congratulations. All right, number 3. We're just rapid. Diode Press.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more. Good luck, everyone. Krazo Boy, congratulations. All right, that's 4 down. Congrats. One more lucky winner. Here we go. Good luck. Who's it going to be? Harold. Congratulations, Harold. So again, reach out to support at ANDYBIRD builds, and we'll get you straightened out and get one shipped out to you. If you want to support and grab one of these, you can head to the link. If you didn't win today, I'm sorry. You can buy one if you still want one. I appreciate the support. It's really cool how this has all come together. Like creating a video, creating parts, being able to donate. It's really, I don't know if we've ever done a project like this has had this this big of impact, right? To be able to kind of move all these things around, and it all makes it possible. So it's really cool. All right. So Jace, thank you so much for being here today, taking the time. I know you're a busy guy, especially this time of year. It's so good to meet you in person and hear how this whole thing got started. And if you do you have any final words or where people can check you out and learn more? Where do you want to send people?
Yeah, thanks. It's really great to be here, Andy. I appreciate the opportunity and to speak to your audience. It's really great community you're building. Really enjoyed being here. You can check us out at airweights.com. That's probably the best place to go. If you're curious about information related to our products, or you want to learn about how to use our stuff, you can check out our previous live streams. They're all recorded and posted on YouTube. I spend hours going over how to use our stuff, what to do, what applications work best for what scenarios. and what not to do also. So you can check us out on YouTube at AirWeights as well. And we're on Instagram at AirWeights, but that's pretty much it. I guess also Facebook. We don't have a huge following there. But yeah, those are just normal channels. And yeah, if you're an existing customer, you can always reach out to us at info@airweights.com. And yeah, just anything AirWeights. That's what's going to help out the most.
Perfect. Yeah, check them out. Check AirWeights out. Learn how they work. I think that was my hesitation for a long time, and just not knowing. But I think once you get the basics, it's like things just like light bulb clicks, and you're like, wait, I don't have to screw this down anymore, or I don't have to use double-sided tape. The worst part of double-sided tape is taking it off.
Yep.
You don't have to do that. So,
yep, it's true.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We actually have channel members that we need to thank. We're up to 19 channel members. We're going to have to create a different graphic because it's going to have to start scrolling here soon. But thank you to our channel members. And if you want to become a channel member, you don't have to. This is just an opportunity. If you want to support this show, you can become a channel member. You can learn more. There's a button, should be a button right below the YouTube chat to learn more. Don't feel like you have to, but we're so thankful for our channel members and joining us and supporting the show. Net News Ledger, Monte Jones, Earl Mahaffey, Aaron Newton, Technotan Australia, David Mercer, Roland Glidden, Johnny Gardner, Randall Jenkins, Pineapples Barbecue and Woodworking, Bradley Custom Designs, Cody Elkins over at Cadence Manufacturer and the Jenny Bit, Frank Bean, Ray Stoyle, Dave Hoffman, Glenn Taylor, The Dangers of the Internet. Wow. Thank you for your support. That's such a cool name. And Daniel Disler and Tony Vizzi. Again, thank you so much for your support and supporting the show in that way. All right. What a great show. Again, Jace, thank you for being here. And thank you for all the viewers for being here and tuning in. And all the people that are going to watch this afterwards. Thank you so much. Now, go fire up that CNC and make something you're proud of. We'll see you next time.